Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, I'm bringing you guys awesome interviews, and today it is an honor and privilege to have a local band out of Buffalo, New York, actually. They're called the Antibodies. I'm going to be talking to them about their debut album, self-titled The Antibodies. So let's introduce yourselves if you don't mind, and welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm I'm Jez A, and I'm the vocalist, and
I'm Izzy Deadly, and I play guitar and backup vocals.
And lyricist.
What's that?
And lyricist.
Yep. I can't even say that word. How do you say that? Lyricist?
Yeah. Lyricist.
There it is.
I can't talk at the time anyhow.
Lyricist. There you go. So let's jump right into this, guys and gals. What's impressed you both the most about making debut album from you guys, the Antibodies? What's caught your eye about it, if anything, for the both of you?
Well, I would have to say the magic in the studio. It's very creative process.
For me, I mean, that was the first time we've ever even been in like a real studio, so I was just really impressed with the whole process. It was like seeing our goofy stories actually come to life. So I just love the whole process. It was a very new experience.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
It was hella fun.
So how was working with producer Doug Wad on this, guys?
He's pretty awesome. He provides a lot of constructive criticism. He has great experience, and he's also very inspiring for you to push your own music out there, because he has his own band called Circus Grenade out there.
Yeah, I think he actually has a couple bands. I think the one is signed to like Sony Records, right?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, the name of it. It was something that sounded very, very, very pretty. And I can't remember.
It's melodic.
Yeah, it's like a melodic. They got a female singer.
Yeah, but if you check out Doug White's page, you could look at all the bands that he's on. He does a lot of good work. Yeah.
For me, like I just loved how he just gets like involved, and yeah, and like I can tell he's always just right there with you, like just in the moment with you, and like no ego. He's got a great advice, and he makes sure that I'm in tune and I'm playing the right notes. So,
so it's just a pretty evenly flow of working with him. No stress, nothing like that.
Oh no, You're going laid back.
I even told him, like personally, I said, you can't ever retire, because we just want to work with you, and that's it.
That's good. That's really good. Any songs off of the debut album from you guys that stand out more to you than any on it, possibly?
Well, I think right now, Zombie Invasion, because we're kind of working on getting a music video together, so we're getting kind of stoked about it. It's kind of exciting stuff because we're working on the storyline right now.
Yeah, it's like a rough version of the storyboard that we're working on right now, so we're super excited about that.
I got to say, I'm really impressed with the cover that you did of the Misfits Helena. Some wouldn't even touch that, so good job, guys.
Thank you very much. We definitely appreciate it.
What made you guys want to cover that song? Out of all the Misfits, I know everybody cuts their teeth on the Misfits, but why that one in particular?
We started it's music we obviously liked and we listened to, and we would just, randomly play it, and then we just kind of got the idea, hey, why not just go back to the roots and play what we originally played?
Yeah, what happened before the band, I'm pretty sure me and you were just drinking coffee at like Tim Hortons, and we were just kind of laughing. We were like, wouldn't it be funny if we just started a band? And like, we weren't serious whatsoever. We just laughed at it. And they were like, yeah, you know what, that'd probably be fun. And then we just jammed together, and Jess actually sang out of a karaoke machine. Yep. and we'd cover oldies, I think, like Nirvana. We definitely cover like old Danzig, Misfits, like here and there, but for some reason, like we always came back to Helena. So we always came back to that one, and we just said, you know what, if we're gonna do a cover, why not just play the song that like basically like started like this band, and kind of like paying homage to our humble beginnings.
So what?
Even though we're still very humble.
What helps both of you to keep your mind fresh and open to lyrics that you've not done before or want to do, possibly?
I guess just keeping an open mind, and sometimes we don't necessarily do this, but sometimes kind of like Seinfeld, you have characters and you try to make a story with it and just run with it.
Yeah, I think we just kind of allow ourselves to be inspired. We try not to really force anything out. And ideas just kind of pop out just like in like whatever random moments, maybe in the shower, just drinking coffee in the park or talking to somebody, or I could wake up with something in my head and, there's like images dancing around in my brain. So we just jot it down and bring it up to one another. That's kind of how it turns out.
How much growth musically have you seen this band go through up to the release of this album?
Oh, I guess growth is limitless. I mean, as long as you keep going, you got to keep growing, right?
True.
Hey, I like that. That actually rhymed.
There's some lyrics right there.
Could be a lyric.
Yeah. I was even gonna say, like, even when this album came out, it actually came out in 2013. We just kind of like re-released it, and like up until then, we were just kind of brand new, really. So yeah, it was brand new, like right up to that album.
Well, yeah, our albums constantly change. We actually first started recording it in the basement and through friends, and then eventually we got new ideas and recorded it in the studio, and then we would go back for, different ideas and different techniques. And so, yeah, we're constantly growing, whether it's, through Facebook exposure or musically.
Yeah, in the first recording, there wasn't any lead guitar actually for like a long time. I think for almost like maybe even like a year, right? It was just like one guitar with like no leads, maybe just like some here and there, like some like little simple leads here and there. So we kind of just added to it as we went. We would just kind of like revisit it.
How much support locally do you guys get via venues and plus even radio up there? Do you guys get any radio time at all?
Yeah, there's a few radio shows. There's one called the Think So Joe Show. They've played our stuff quite a few times, and I think they just played our brand new song Body Snatchers the last week.
Oh yeah,
Monday.
Yeah, I saw that comment. It was Monday.
Yeah, there's one called Localized 107.7 FM. They played our stuff. Her name's Chelsea. And one time we were on 103.3 The Edge. That was pretty awesome. I think they actually played Zombie Invasion, didn't they?
No, I think that's when we first released our album, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Time.
So that was really exciting because I mean I grew up and it was like 103.3 The Fox. Like that was like my first radio station as a kid. I hear like Black Sabbath and Kiss and stuff like that. So that was really cool to be on there.
What about venues? As far as shows and stuff, do you guys get a lot of support from that as well also, or no?
We noticed it's more of Rochester is where the music scene is
okay.
Most of the time. I think Buffalo is mainly like metal and cover bands and things like that. And we're kind of focusing on just, a two-man studio kind of thing until we get a good lineup right now.
Yeah, we've had some like pretty cool turnouts in Buffalo. The one show sticks out to me. The Waiting Room. I thought that was a great show.
that one was a really good show in Buffalo.
Yeah.
That was called the Spook Show, wasn't it?
Yep, the Spook Show. And was it 2014 maybe?
I believe so. I
will have to say
bands. I remember Skinbound was there.
Right. I will have to say like Buffalo. Like I would say like my favorite places to play in Buffalo are actually the basement shows.
Yeah,
I always feel like those are just. Yeah, I always feel like this is more like personal, and it's something about being on like the basement floor and just like right in there with everyone. And I think we've got a really good response doing that.
What do you hope the fans take away from the new album, or if it's not the new album that they get to listen to, whether it be the cover of Helena or Body Snatchers? Once they start to digest this, what do you hope that they take away from it, guys?
I just hope they get lost in the story of the song, because when I sing it, I imagine I'm acting out everything, so you kind of get lost and you forget about everything that's going on in your life, and you're in that moment.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, just be kind of like be able to tap into their imagination, even just for like a half hour, because like, getting older, like how much do we really tap into our imagination,
For
So
sure.
I think it's good to get in there and just like enjoy a fun and ridiculous journey. And I always think it's cool for like anyone to listen to it. They can just interpret the songs however they want to. Because some people even were thinking like Earth versus Mars. They're like, is that song political? I'm like, I mean, it could be.
Yeah, I remember the days of putting on Master of Puppets and just gone. Come home from school or have a bad day, or when my father was real sick. Music was therapy for me, so I dig it.
Yeah, same here. And Yeah, I actually have the new Metallica in the car right now.
Oh, it's so good, ain't it?
You know, I still haven't made it really past Spit Out the Bone, because like that's just such a good song that I just keep going back to it over and over again.
Yeah, In Your Face song. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and you know what? I did my countdown and for the 2016 albums, and people gave me shit because I couldn't put Metallica number one. It just came out, folks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got other bands that's busted their ass off through the year to promote their albums. I'm not going to do that to them. I mean,
Right.
Megadeth was my number one top choice, Dystopia. I think it's a phenomenal album.
Yeah, you know what? I think I have that one, because I was like, that one looks familiar, and I'm pretty sure I have it in my collection, and that is a really good album.
I put Metallica number 3. So
Yeah, I mean, sounds good to me.
they're in the top 5.
Metallica number 3 sounds good to me.
Yeah, there's just some more lyrics right there, folks. Right there.
Punk rock, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now we got some Ramones going on here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Or 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah. When the fans come out to see you guys live at a show for the first time, what can they expect from you all?
I guess I'd have to say ridiculousness, goofiness, aggression, randomness.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, a mean power stance for me.
I was going to say, you got to forget your ridiculous power stance.
Yeah, I mean, like, my power stance, my legs will be sore for, like, a week.
It's like you're a spider.
What's that?
You're a spider.
I do have long legs. I'm 6'4", so yeah, energy, and yeah, we're just pretty much just ridiculous. But right now we don't really have a solid live lineup, so we're definitely going to get one soon. And when that happens, we just really want to fine tune everything and just kick it up like times 1,000.
So, do you guys have any songs that didn't make the self-titled album that could be on another album, possibly?
You know what? When we were making the self-titled, we actually had more songs. Like even Body Snatchers, I think that was actually done, and we just didn't put it on the album. And we actually have an animated music video coming out soon to our song called Operate, and I think that was done too, and we didn't put it on that album. So these two are going to be on the brand new album.
Mm-hmm.
So for both of you, do you guys prefer the digital era of recording and getting your albums out there to the masses now that we have, or would you want to do an old school way of being in a recording studio and be with a producer and things like that?
I personally, I like both ways. I kind of liked recording it ourselves because it forced us to be more creative. And then when you go to the studio, you get, with our studio guy, you got creative input, which helps make it create more interesting things. So I kind of like the balance of both worlds.
I mean, like really, we've only experienced being in the studio together. So I mean, I've never actually experienced the other.
Okay.
So right now,
producing it, correct? But we have done our own recording by ourselves, so we've got inspiration off of.
Yeah. So I mean, I would have to go with being in the studio together.
Yeah, it's fun. It's more inspirational and creative that way.
And you feed off each other.
And plus,
Ideas spark.
Plus being in a studio with your bandmates, it makes it more sentimental. I mean, I hate to say that word, but it makes it more like your team, not like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah, agreed.
It's not like, well, I'm going to send this to her and she's going to be like, whatever, and then like I just heard she just sent it back. Let me just get over with and do it. To me, it's kind of. I'd rather have my bandmates there with me. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
Got to have that positive energy flow, and yep, definitely.
What does the Antibodies bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now? What makes you guys different than these other horror punk bands?
Jez A disaster. You want to answer that?
Oh, I feel like
I can say rap is like
we have contagious, catchy hooks. I think that really
like that.
Really gets ingrained in your head, and I notice a lot of people will listen to the music and not necessarily they'll like it, but certain lines will get stuck in their head, and then they're like, "Oh, it's stuck in my head."
Kind of like Crazy Glue, right?
Yeah.
I can say even having a female vocalist. I mean, I don't really think we had any specific plans to be different. We just kind of played what we wanted to hear, and we both grew up on just catchy punk rock music, and that's kind of just what we focused on.
Yeah, definitely what we wanted to hear.
That very simplistic 1, 2, 3, 4 type of song.
So for the both of you, what made you want to become a musician? What was that spark that said, that's exactly what I want to do right there?
Well, I'd have to say my love for music. I can remember loving music since I was a kid, and I'd always be singing and dancing like, you know, all kids do, but it was something I always truly enjoyed, so I figured, you know, why not?
Plus you grew up on that Titanic theme song, right? You're probably singing that.
I sure did. I also grew up on a lot of other things.
Can we by any chance get a sample of that? Have you singing the Titanic theme?
Absolutely not. Wherever you are.
Right?
Yep.
This show has now been
for
canceled.
Me, what's that? I'm sorry.
This show has now been canceled.
I remember when I was a kid, my cousins, they introduced me to like AC/DC and Kiss, and like I said earlier, that 103.3 The Fox, and I might get shit for it, but like I grew up when Green Day and Offspring became popular, and like that definitely sparked something in me. And oddly enough, like Weird Al, he inspired me to want to play music too. So
you know, it's crazy. You mentioned the Offspring, and I'm gonna throw this out here. They have been on some crazy music festivals with some big, heavy bands. And I'm like, the Offspring? Really? And surprisingly, it fits in great.
Right. Who were they playing with?
Oh, I remember a couple years ago, they were on tour on a big festival with Slayer was headlining.
Geez.
Chili Peppers were there, which, you know, that flows with Chili Peppers. I want to say Lamb of God was there, too, on this one.
Really? Lamb of God?
Yes. I mean, it was just a huge festival of metal and punk band, metal alternative bands, stuff like that. I mean, some of the bands that you saw that I seen on there with some of these metal bands, I was just like, you got to be kidding me. How does that mesh? But it did. You know?
What other punk bands were on there?
Dude, I really can't remember. The only one I remember, honestly to God, was Sum 41. And, well, Sum 41, yeah, there you go. Sum 41 was on there, and then the Offspring. And then,
yeah, you know what? Wasn't I talking to you about Sum 41? I think we were both saying that we wanted to hear that brand new album, right?
Yeah, it was actually. I'm kind of anxious to hear that, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I heard it's supposed to be heavy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that their guitarist plays in a female fronted horror punk band called Black Cat Attack.
Yep, he does.
I'm not sure if you right.
Yeah, he does. That's weird.
Yeah, cool.
That is so weird. Because I actually interviewed her from Black Cat Attack.
Right.
And Brian Dickface is what they call him, and somebody else, but it wasn't the guy from Sum 41, which is all cool, fine and dandy. But it's weird that he's with a huge band. I mean, don't get me wrong, and then he's playing with Black Cat Attack. That's some cool shit right there, I think.
Yeah, he probably has
I agree.
a very good interest in it, you know. So.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe he just like grew up as like, you know what, I always loved horror punk. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely love horror punk. Even though I have a metal show, I mean, it's everything in one, but my favorite thing of all has to be horror punk.
Right.
Because every day is Halloween for me. I absolutely love horror movies. I would rather watch horror movies on Christmas Day than watch some lovey-dovey bull crap.
My first horror punk band that I was in, everyone was just like going around talking. They're like, man, we love Halloween. And everyone's just like, fucking hey, Halloween. I'm sorry, can I say it?
Yeah.
Fuck. You know, and then they got to me and they're like, yeah, so what's your favorite holiday, man? And I was just like, I kind of like Christmas. And they're just quiet. So I've always said, like, we got to bring Christmas into horror punk too. Just call it a Klaus-core.
Klaus-core?
Yeah.
What does Klaus-core mean?
I mean, we actually do have a song now about Santa Claus. So.
Ooh, Santa Claus as a zombie or alien?
Well, it's actually based off a Twilight Zone episode. It's called Night of the Meek. But we probably got off topic here.
No,
I apologize.
Trust me, it happens.
Yeah.
Nothing goes right on this show, so we.
It's just pure mayhem.
Yep, that's exactly right. So, any show or moment that stands out for you guys so far with this band, you know, like a show you've done that you couldn't believe that you're actually doing, or met someone for your band, you know, as far as being a band. Anything possibly?
I would have to say this one was in Rochester. It was Dublin Underground, and I couldn't believe how many people were there. It was crazy.
Right, those people just came out of nowhere too, because like it almost seemed like the place was empty, and then all of a sudden we started playing, and I think that was the first time like we realized that like we had a fan base in Rochester. We're like, these people know our lyrics, they're singing along, they're like fist pumping, they're moshing, they're getting rowdy. It's like, what is happening here? And I think some kid was actually like acting out zombie invasion. He had his arms out like a zombie, he's like pretending he's eating his friend's brains.
That's awesome.
and some girl was like kept grabbing your leg, right?
Yep.
And I think she said afterward that she was in love with you. So hey.
Uh-oh. She got a zombie stalker.
For me, we played this basement show, and Cancer Slug was there. It was a Cancer Slug show, and I thought that was just pure chaos. That was just insane. And I think I was calling Jess. I was calling her the what I call you, the
Mayhem.
Yeah, the conductor of mayhem, because she was just pretty much conducting mayhem. It was just like so hot and like sweaty in there, but the whole place was just packed, and there's like just beer bottles flying. It was actually getting pretty dangerous in there.
What's the feeling, guys, for both of you when you're hearing your lyrics being sung like that at a local place, man?
It feels awesome, to be honest, because it was just like never to like really be expected, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think one time, this is probably a weird story, I think a girl once said that if she heard Zombie Invasion again, she would actually strip to it, and I was like, well, all right.
Hell yeah. There you go.
So,
find her.
And that girl was me. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, God. So, folks, how can people stay in touch with you guys? Buy some merchandise, buy this new self-titled album, some shirts, tour dates. How can they do that? Our Facebook page, the email address is antibodies1234@gmail.com. My personal email is theband456456@netscape.net. I know I still use netscape.net. The Antibodies on Facebook, I mean, it's the only one that has a female in the middle of two guys. So
I do believe you do have to put the dash in there to find us, because sometimes it's a little hard to find us if you don't put the dash between anti and bodies.
Right.
She's not a zombie. She's very pretty, guys and gals. Trust me. So before I leave,
we also have a Bandcamp link onto our Facebook page that links to merch and music and all sorts of fun stuff.
Oh yeah, it says shop now. You can go right over there. T-shirts, stickers, the album, some free songs, the free new song, and yeah, Misfits cover is free. Before I let you guys go, you care to do a promo for my show? I would not mind at all. This is Izzy Deadly and Jez A Disaster from the Antibodies, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Hey-o. Everybody stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. Please go out and check out the Antibodies. I'm pretty sure you're going to like them. Thanks, guys. Yep, thank you for having us.